So here's the idea. Instead of just listening, or perhaps like instead of listening at all, you were just given an oscilloscope and you have to use the oscilloscope and its very simplified version of audio to perceive what you're supposed to be inputting to the jungle panels. In the first ever example of the witness, you just hear like the bird chirping, the hee and you input it from like you go high and then you go low and then you're good, you're done. But what if instead you saw an oscilloscope of a sine wave, and using the sine wave, it shows you a high frequency, which starts as a lots of like sine waves close to each other because the frequency is very high, and it shows it gradually going to a lower pitch, uh, maybe modulated a bit by like amplitude to show like this is one note, it's all like high frequency, and then this is another note and it's all lower frequencies. And then just seeing that visual being enough information that you can say, ah, that was a high frequency followed by a low frequency. I should go high-low on the panel. I've been trying to find different ways to like really try to get this down to the best way I can present this. But what I have for now is basically this. Um, it's a shader that I stole from the Godot Shaders website and modified a little bit. And I took the parameters of the shader and then animated it to a bird sound. So we have high, low, high, high, low. Uh, the high notes are shown as closer together sine waves. This is a high frequency sine wave. Um, it tapers off in amplitude to show that that's the end of the note. And then it goes to slowly increase the amplitude again, and then shows a lower frequency. In fact, it starts at a medium frequency and then it decreases even further. So like now it's the entire screen space is this low frequency. It's very different, and I think you can pick up on it visually. For people who are not inclined, I think it won't be obvious immediately, but I want to see if there's ways that I can start to hint to sort of like observe these patterns, and even something as simple as like, hey, is this oscilloscope moving or no? If it's moving, input yes. If it's not moving, input no. And then just go from there, slowly step it up and increase the ways that you have to look at this oscilloscope and see like, ah, maybe it switches between a sine wave and a noise signal, like just a pure white noise, and discerning between like, ah, we had one sine wave, silence, a noise, silence again, and then another noise, and then you'd input sine, noise, noise. It could be a binary switch. It could be something with a couple more steps to it, like, you know, the three-tiered tone system that the Witness uses. But this is where I'm starting to wonder if I even want to use the Witness as like my mode of input. Knowing how there's other puzzle games out there that have invented their own way of doing things, like I really like how Taiji is really simple to interact with, in a way that doesn't feel like frustrating or I don't know, cheap, I guess. Um, so I'm just considering different ideas of how I could implement different audio puzzles like this, being given visual information, but then having the audio as supplementary stuff. Or if you're already in the know, then maybe you could just like, I don't know, turn the oscilloscope off and go the rest of it like audio only. I really want to make like an audio puzzle game that has this visual component so that even people who are hard of hearing are not hearing at all. Maybe even people who are just a music but do hear and do have some understanding of like pitch perception can at least use it as an aid to help ground them with like what the actual acoustic space is doing, even if the perceptual result is maybe different to them, right? So that's the basic idea, is that I want to make my own like Witness audio puzzle game, and it might use the Witness as the input device. It might not, but I'm just experimenting and coming up with different ways that I can see out these puzzles being made. And I have no idea where it's going, but I'm just going to keep plonking away at it. I don't know. Thanks.